Automation Nation, Automation Nation, Automation Nation, around the nation. Automation Nation, Automation Nation, Automation Nation, around the nation, around the nation, around the nation. Welcome to the Automation Nation podcast, the show for business leaders, tech aficionados, and those who are just simply curious about where technology and business are going. Automation Nation is your gateway to understanding automation, AI, and the future of business. Don't get left behind. Tune in now and subscribe for more. Welcome to the Automation Nation podcast, everyone. We are back for another fantastic automation conversation. We are back for another conversation that hopefully can elevate somebody's mind, because the whole purpose of having these dialogues, Jessica, is that maybe we could have a little birdie fly by, get the information, and drop that off to somebody who needs it.
Love it. I love it. Let's fly.
I saw a bird fly by your window when I said that. Welcome, Jessica, to the Automation Nation podcast. I'm going to read a little bit of your bio before we get this started off LinkedIn here. I really like what you do and admire what you do. Number one, as we said before the show started, we in the green room, I was telling you how nonprofit world is something I was involved with for a long time, most of my life. And the fact that you are really helping nonprofits win and move forward, it really delights me. And I hope that people are inspired by this conversation and can support you. So LinkedIn profile says she's a highly accomplished and award-winning financial leader, renowned for her unwavering commitment to financial and operational excellence. Okay, this is big now. As a well-rounded C-suite executive, she brings a track record of rigor and profound business acumen to the table. Additionally, her expertise as an executive board member and business partner excels at creating synergy between financial growth and strategic impact. That's not all. I found out that Jessica just happens to be, okay, and this is interesting, because I was a 40 under 40 recipient, right, for something. Once, Jessica has found a way to be the 40 under 40 for 4 years in a row by the CPA Practice Advisor for fourth year in a row. So it's 40 under 40 in accounting profession by CPA Practice Advisor 4 years in a row. That means that you have done something special 4 years in a row. So, and you've been doing this for 4 years.
I've been in the nonprofit space for 4 years. Yes.
Wait a second. That's like somebody coming to the league in their first rookie year, win the championship, wins another one, wins. Okay. So I just want to give everyone context of what we're dealing with here. Jessica, welcome. Why don't you share with everyone a little bit about who you are and kind of why you do what you do?
Absolutely. Well, Rob, thank you for those kind words at the beginning. I truly appreciate it. And thankful to be here this afternoon. I'm grateful for everyone joining us. So I've been in the role of the CFO for Girl Scouts Nation's Capital for a little over 2.5 years, and it is an amazing job. I was a Girl Scout myself in this council here in the DC metropolitan area. I have a young daughter who's on her way to be a Girl Scout as well. And to know that the work that I do, along with my team, has an impact on creating the next leaders of the future. That is inspiring for me, the fact that I can have that kind of impact as an accountant. Didn't think I'd be able to do that. So I've been in the nonprofit space for about 4 years, but prior to that, I was as an auditor, as an in-public accounting firm, and did that for a little over 10 years, but brought my knowledge to the nonprofit space, and it's been a great journey.
That is phenomenal. That's great. That's great. So yeah, I support the Girl Scouts. I always have. As a matter of fact, I'm one of those people who give money, won't even get the cookies sometimes because I got enough.
Love it. I love it.
Jessica, what we do with all our guests, we ask this one question because we are powered by Simply Automate. Matter of fact, let me get that ticker going on the bottom here. we're powered by Simply Automate. So we ask all our guests this question: if you could simply automate one thing in your personal life, what would it be?
I would say grocery shopping. I don't have to create a list, go to the grocery store, know what's in my refrigerator or my pantry, and it just delivered right to my front door and then gets put in my refrigerator. That would simplify my life so much.
Ooh, that, it's funny. That's one of the top answers. And interestingly enough, in less than 5 years, that's exactly what's going to be happening. You just think about the elements we already have. We already have the autonomous car. We already
Yes,
have Alexa that orders our stuff. Now all that's missing is the individual robot piece to go to the store and pick it up. Well, they now are making those models that will get in your autonomous car, go to the store, do the
hurry up.
shopping. I mean, the Jetsons are now, okay?
Can they keep with all the different snacks my kids like? I mean, that'd be great too.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, so let's talk about this because what well, here's one of the questions. What do you diversity, inclusion, like what do you think the role this plays in, in creating successful accounting teams? Because we don't talk about this stuff a lot. What are
It
your thoughts on
plays
that?
a vital role. I mean, there's been enough business studies, business cases done to talk about why diversity, equity, inclusion are important, not just for accounting teams, but organizations as a whole. We have a younger generation coming in that expects it. It's not a nice to have, it's not a could you have or should have. No, we expect it to be a part of our organization. I don't like the word initiative. For me, DEI should be embedded into the fabric of an organization, be a part of their culture and who they are. Um, it's great that we can talk about statistics. We can put ads on our web pages and things of that nature, but it really comes down to how employees feel. They want to feel like they belong. They want to feel that they have equal opportunity to promotions, special projects, professional development. They want to feel that decisions are made free of bias. And so it is so important when you're talking about not just an accounting team, but growing an organization as a whole, that that's part of who you are as an organization. It is vital.
Yeah, because it's it's the people, the process, and then the technology, and that's the order. Take care of your people, have good processes, and then implement the technology. If you don't take care of your people, it doesn't matter about the other two.
Absolutely. You're right about that one, Rob. Right about that one.
That is all right. That's all right. And so you were in the so you just came over to the nonprofit space within about 4 years ago, as we mentioned earlier. Well, let's talk about the transition. What made you jump? I know because you already said you want to feel as if what you're doing is creating a ripple, right? It's doing something that matters. Was there anything else that you could talk about that helped you make that transition? And because that was an interesting leap. Talk about where you were prior, and
Sure.
then this quantum leap, we're going to call it.
Absolutely. So I spent a little over 10 years in public accounting as an auditor. I mainly work with federal government clients. But coming to the nonprofit space, I get to bring two passions that I have: social impact and accounting. My accounting friends know it. Accounting is a profession that I have a lot of passion for, that I give a lot of my time back and volunteering with. But I've been able to bring the two of those together. And it's so important for me because it allows me to give back using the knowledge, skill set, and expertise that I have to give back and help others reach their fullest potential, whatever that may be for them. I believe that when we don't give back, when we don't extend and help others along the path as well, we're stealing from our future. I'm thinking about that next generation of leaders when I'm retired in the next 25, 30 years. Who's going to be running the world? Because it won't be me. I hope to be retired and sipping Mai Tais on the beach.
Right.
Who are those future leaders in government, in business, and running our nonprofits and educational institutions? And in my role at Girl Scouts, even though it's a CFO, I still have a place and an impact in doing that.
That's big, and I love that. We all do have a role to play.
Absolutely.
This to me is not really an opinion. This is 100% fact. If we're talking about the growth and evolution of a species, like in order for us to develop and grow, we have to work together. That's why nature works so well and without anyone's help, right?
Absolutely.
Because it works with itself, right? It knows what it does and it just happens. when we do what comes naturally to us, which is really help each other, when we get to that point, you're right.
Oh,
A rising tide does lift all ships. I'm so glad that you speak like this. And so does you have someone else. Who was that? Amy? Yeah, Amy.
oh,
Amy.
Amy.
She loves to hear from you, and I see why. I see why. I want to talk about leadership. Let's talk about leadership. What is your thoughts on leadership? And so first of all, before I even like throw any of my thoughts out there, let me hear what your experience has been, and what, based off this question here, like what are your thoughts on how we can help develop leaders for the future?
So when we talked about chat right before the session, I used the word communication, and I'm going to use it probably a lot. That's the word of the day, is communication. When we talk about what's needed in my role, what's important is I have to be able to clearly articulate and explain financial data to those that may or may not have a financial background. And some of these items can be complex, where you have to be able to simplify it enough for your accounting folks that may be in the room versus those that are not. And so that communication is so important. One of the unique things that I think my Girl Scout Council did is our board treasurer is a communications expert, not a financial expert. And so if I'm able to clearly and explain and articulate to her financial information, then I know the rest of the board may get it. I've learned a lot from her from communications and from a communication standpoint of how to explain, how to articulate, how to provide clarity as well. And so very smart in that decision that was made to have a communications expert lead be our treasurer. So that is so important. Be able to communicate in complex information to various stakeholders, and I mean various.
That's something that should be passed along to the minds of those. Think about that strategic move there. Communications expert handling the money. Now everyone can understand what's going on. Hello.
Absolutely.
That's really cool. Okay. Yeah, that works. That works. Well, let's talk about some technology. How do you see automation, right, reshaping the future of accounting? I know it's already happening, but how do you see it, and what have you seen as of late?
Oh, absolutely. I was just having a conversation with our IT team and talking about AI. It's so much that two letters that are my professional accountants out there have heard a lot of, and understanding what that means. And helping accountants understand it's not about replacing jobs or removing jobs. It's about enhancing and making people more productive. We're having conversations of what is our AR strategy? What is our use policy around AR? AI? How do we train our staff to understand the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to AI? And that it could be a very powerful tool. I'm always talking with my team of how can we do something different? How can we do something better? Even if we have the best accounting system in the world, what else can we be doing different? And part of that is it's not always the technology itself, it's the skills and the knowledge that the team has of that technology.
You
That
better
is
say
so important.
you
I'm
had
gonna say it
better
again.
say that again.
I'm gonna say it again. You can have the best technology in the world, but if the staff don't understand how to use it, its purpose, how it can enhance and help them and drive growth, you might as well go back to using paper.
Like, seriously, that is a really good breakdown and 100% accurate. You might as well. It doesn't matter. It's like a scalpel. In the right hands, it can save your life. In the wrong hands, it can kill you.
Mm, oh my
So
goodness.
we don't want to die early for no reason. We don't want our businesses to die. Okay, we don't want our processes to die. We don't want our culture to die. So in order for us to do that, we have to do what this young lady just said. Miss 40 under 44 years in a row just said. Okay, do that. So that's what you do. That's what you do. Let's talk about collaboration. What strategy would you recommend for accountants and CPAs, to enhance their effectiveness in that cross-functional collaboration?
I have many of my accountant friends, and we definitely believe we are the language of business. And so in my role, I know more than just finance. I'm talking to each and every department, because if everybody's spending money, I definitely have to have those conversations with them. And so it's having the open dialogue. We require our managers that are leading our various departments within an organization to have so many meetings a year with our finance department to from a budgeting perspective. Where are you all budgeted actuals? What are we forecasting? What are we planning? Because when we do that, we're able to then have synergy, clear expectations, shared goals, informed decision making when we do that. So finance does not work in a silo. It cannot successfully work in a silo. We have to have the open communication and transparency and collaboration with all departments. And people don't realize when I'm in Girl Scouts, I'm visiting camps, Girl Scout camps. I'm understanding how our cookies operate. I'm visiting our retail stores, as I have to understand how all of that works, how it impacts the financials. So again, I can clearly communicate with our various stakeholders what's going on financially with our organization.
That's big. And your clear communication is being enhanced by this communication master that you have on board, number one. Two, by your approach to things. You have a very nice approach. You have this approach where it seems as if you really take your time. You are looking to understand the objectives so that you then could create goals that map exactly to those objectives, those outcomes, right? Based off true, real analysis and data, because you spent the time to actually achieve and retrieve that. That's good. That's not always done, and it's a challenge. But I say success leaves clues. I don't say that. I say it now because someone else said it. But it was said that success leaves clues. There's another part to that, and it's follow the trail. So if success leaves clues, then we should follow the trail.
I love that.
Business is not going to work without doing the things that make it work. And the people, the processes, and the technology, taking care of the culture, making sure people feel wanted, needed, and understood and valued. And then also understand what the heck you're doing with these processes, right? Let's talk about some challenges. What are some of the challenges that you have seen? Let's see. And let's talk about this one. I like this one here. And what are the changes? Because there's a lot of change when it comes to financial reporting. Because we deal with accountants and CPAs and people in the financial space every day, and we hear all these good ideas. So every good idea I have, I track it, put it down, and use it. And I put it in ChatGPT. I say, summarize all this for me for one thought. Let's get your thoughts on this.
Some of the biggest changes I see with financial reporting, especially the role for your controllers, your CFOs. It goes beyond just reporting on the past. I have to report on the past. Absolutely. There's a compliance requirement for that, regulatory requirements. I have to report on that. But I'm very focused on the future. When X happens, what does that mean? Or if Y happens, what does that mean? So now we're required to have a future-focused lens in understanding what's coming our way and how we're ready to mitigate if that's a risk, because it could be a negative impact, or how we're able to seize an opportunity with opportunities that are coming our way as well. So for me, that's what financial reporting is. It's not just looking at the past, it's being able to, again, do the planning and the forecasting around what's coming our way. What do we not know that may be coming? How do we figure that out? How do we mitigate the risks that are out there as well? And so it's more than just the Excel spreadsheets and numbers. And I think a lot of accountants know we are more than just being counters. That is the CPA of the accountant of the past. Accountants now, we're talking about what does this mean for us in the next 2 to 5 years? You can even say 12 months. When we talk about how the world has changed since COVID, how it's changed over the last 12 months. I mean, heck, where are we going to be 6 months from now? I start to wonder, just with the pace of change and trying to keep up. I mean, it's a lot, but that's part of our job now is future focused. I think you said at the beginning, I'm a partner to the CEO of the organization. I'm hand to hand. She's coming to me for those insights. And that data and analysis of what this means for our future, whether it's 12 months to 5 years down the road.
You said it. Yeah. Before COVID, it's a new timeline now. They call it BC now. it literally is the new BC. It's in the new BC. I mean, because so many things stopped and started in 2020. And one of them was our communications and our ability to connect with each other enhanced tremendously because everyone was locked in their house. Okay. And so you couldn't go anywhere. But what we noticed from this is our ability to communicate further and more broad. That was the pro. The con was, yes, there were many cons with this, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Some called it a pandemic. some call it BC, whatever. It did a lot of things, and some good and some not so good. I think the good was it allowed people like yourself and myself, our voices to be heard more abroad because everyone was tuned in more. How have you seen the internet and the ability, BC, and folks being more online? How has that helped you? Because in this right now, I would not even know my business partner. I met him on LinkedIn 5 years ago. All right, and he told me about automation. And I was like, oh wow. And I started thinking about all the nonprofits I could have helped if I knew what he was telling me. But I would never have known him if it wasn't for the internet, if it wasn't for LinkedIn. So many opportunities have opened up.
Yes.
You've experienced this. Let's talk about your experience with more access digitally and, post BC.
Absolutely. That's how you and I connect. If you think about it, someone mentioned my name to you, and that's how we connected. And so, I mean, this is a testament to that. And you're right, the access it is given, it's allowed me to help others. Again, I'm all about, giving back. I've had people reach out to me I love your journey. I'm passionate about nonprofits, or kind of like you are. I would love to have a 30-minute virtual coffee just to pick your brain on something. I've helped the young lady during COVID becoming a CPA. She reached out to me on LinkedIn. I had never met her and said, I'm looking for someone to give me that motivation to help me. And over about a 1.5, 2-year process, I was with the ups and downs with her of, passing some parts and failing some parts, and she's finished, and she's now a CPA. I'm not sure we would have had that access without, the technology or even LinkedIn. Especially a person of color, a woman of color, is giving me access to people that I may have never had access to previously when operating again without the technology. So access is the word when we talk about technology and what it's done and how it's given people so many more opportunities and additional leverage as well with their relationships and building connecting as well.
Wow. Yes, you said it. You hear that? That's opportunity knocking on the door constantly.
And I open every door.
Okay. Oh, we're coming in for a landing here. We got our last few questions. Jessica, if you could simply automate one thing in your business life. Now, this automation question is interesting because you can literally, if you had a magic wand, or you can click your heels or even wiggle your nose, if you get one wish and it could happen instantly, what would you automate in your business world?
One thing I would automate is responding to emails. Now, I know there still needs to be a personal touch within that. I'd never take that away. I know technology could be helpful and productive and enhancing, but it doesn't replace.
Right.
And so a lot of us, we get drowned in emails. And I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm trying to get to work and I'm seeing the emails pop up over here and I try to put my, take my reminders off and get rid of those distractions. But to be able to have an email to kind of be pre-populated and start responding for me, or some things is a simple yes or no and do it for me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I can get through my inbox clearly every day with that kind of help.
I like what you said too about it's about replacing, it's about enhancing, not replacing. Enhancing, not replacing. That's the thing people need to realize when it comes to automation and technology. Yes, I'll be honest, it does replace certain jobs and certain activities, but I tell you what, that means that you can do better.
Yes.
That's all that means. It means it's time to evolve, because at one point in time on this planet right here that we're currently on, 85% of people were farmers. Now this planet we're on is less than 20. And the reason for that is we've evolved from the agriculture to the industrial to the information to the technological, and we're continuing to go. And like you said, it's happening fast. It's like faster than fast. Somebody said that technology right now, where we are in regards to its enhancement and its impact on society and humanity, you take fire, take the electricity, take the car. It doesn't even compare to what this is. I was like, wow. And the reason for that, because of our accessibility and our abilities that we don't even know about yet.
Untapped, absolutely.
It's like, whoa. Okay. So, springboarding off of that, give us your best piece of business advice.
So my best piece of advice when I started in my career, and someone said, networking is about who you know. And then it evolved to, well, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. Ooh. And I really go by the advice of, it's more so who knows me, whether I know them or not, but they're willing to speak up for me, pour into me and help me, even when I'm not in the room. And so again, that's how you and I connected. Someone saw something in me and said, Rob, you got to meet with her. You have to chat with her. I mean, that was networking and connecting is all about. And so, and not looking at it transactional, but really taking the time to build relationships,
Yeah.
have those connections with people are so important. I mean, it has opened so many doors for me of people just mentioning my name when opportunities came up. And I'm so and forever indebted to these people and so
Mm,
grateful and
mm.
for the graciousness they had in supporting me.
Wow. That's some great advice. You're right. Who knows me, right? Who knows me? Who knows me and is willing
Yes,
to speak on
that's the
behalf
key
of me in a
word.
positive way. That is, you people have no idea how far a good word goes.
Mm,
Because
say it again.
yeah, people have no idea how far a good word goes because there's so much going on right now, and people don't know who to trust, honestly.
Mm,
People don't know who to trust. It's difficult. Yeah, we have more connectivity, but we have more, shysters too that are now being seen and people able. So in order for you to really want to do, if you want to do business or have
mm.
or do good business, being authentic and really caring about other people, like genuinely and seeing how you can enhance and influence other people, naturally that will come back to you. That's what has happened to you, Jessica. Right? It's called
Yes.
karmic energy, and no one escapes it. So whatever
No,
you do, it goes and it comes back in some form or another.
I was told karma, it pays back, but it pays back with interest. So I always want the good interest. I want the good stuff. So I'm very careful. I'm my best to be careful because
I
it.
like that. I like that. Jessica, what's the best way for folks to get in contact with you and find out what you're doing?
Sure, absolutely. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Jessica E. McClain. I have an alphabet soup of letters behind my last name, and I'm wearing my fabulous, amazing Girl Scout uniform on there as well. But definitely reach out. I love to connect.
That's it. That's it. And you will see her information down in the comments. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, you'll find it in the description. Peter Clark said, "Great conversation, Rob House and Jessica." Happy to say that Rob House knows me and her your conversation. Oh, that's so great. You see, be kind of your work speaks for itself. And this brother here is a wonderful individual. You got to go look at his stuff and
Oh, I will.
who he interviews, and just a kind person for no reason, just no reason. Okay. Yeah, but I find myself like generating those type of people around me and me being around those folks because that's who I want to be around.
Absolutely. The energy is real. That transfer of energy is so real.
Oh man, Jessica, this was good. This was good.
Oh, thank
Folks,
you, Rob.
thank you. And again, if you are I want you to connect with Jessica in the comments. You can follow her on LinkedIn. Congratulations again on 4 years in a row. We're pushing for 5. I don't know how many
I
years you
turned
got.
40 this summer, so I
Oh,
did turn 40 this summer, but so I'm ready to nominate others. Again, what else can I put on that list?
okay. So now you make a move with someone else. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Michael Jordan came to the league. He won 3 in a row. You got 4, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thank
Jessica,
you, Rob.
thanks again for being here,
Thank
and
you.
thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. And remember, you don't know what you don't know, but get around somebody who knows more than you know, and you might know something. Until next time.
Automation, automation nation, automation.